Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back into the cut. You already know what time it is. It's time for another all-you-can-eat Chelsea episode. Apologies, people, I didn't get to update you. I only literally just updated the boys now. Turkish hasn't got his laptop charger as well, so his laptop's dead, so I don't think he'll be able to join us today. I was just speaking to him this morning. The boys did suggest maybe using his phone. I'll send him a link and see if we can get it done. But I did want it to be proper. Do you know what I mean? He's got a great setup as well. So it would have been great for him to be on his laptop. And it's a shame because the chemistry, I already know, would have been sick. So apologies for that. But it's nothing we can do. I was filming with him yesterday, actually, as well. So literally, it was literally just about to happen. And then, last minute, it couldn't. But big up to the boys. Younes, how are you boys? How are you doing, man? It's been a long week of Lukaku prop. I'm loving it.
It's been a good week. First and foremost, obviously, before we get started, I see all of you in the comments, blaming me as the late one. I'm not the late one. I haven't been the late one for 2 weeks. No, honestly, no. It's good to have everyone in that's watching. Lukaku prop is all over the place, and it's going to peak on Sunday, right? Against Arsenal. That's where it's going to peak. And then we will fully, induct him and acknowledge him as a fully fledged Chelsea player, and that's it. It's going to be lovely. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, do you know what, bro? I mean, Miz, take it away, man, because I got a lot to say on this. I don't even want to go right
now. Whenever the all-you-can-eat Chelsea show comes along, we've got a lot to talk about because a week is a long time and there's literally so much happening. The Palace game, obviously, and then, the whole heap of Lukaku prop on a daily basis, which is how it should be. It should be Lukaku prop every single day, every single hour. How dare you question that? Loving it. The press conferences, the training sessions, the lot, man. It's been very, very entertaining. And obviously there's been a whole heap of other news as well, like players leaving and whatnot. And the whole Werner situation was a bit mad. It's been good, man. Let's talk.
Do you know what it is as well? I mean, I was saying this yesterday as well. The whole like that tap of the badge and the speeches and the words, like the confidence in which he's speaking. It reminds me very much of when Tuchel came in, and I was just like feeding off every word like a child. It's like it literally reminds me of that. Every time he speaks, the confidence is just ridiculous. He just looks like as if he's just here to terrorize people. He looks like as if he's here on a mission. I said it on Twitter. It looks like as if he's got a redemption, some sort of. It seems like he's possessed. I think, again, I don't want to sprinkle some of my juju on it, but it doesn't really get any more, low bust than this. Anything else? Like, have you guys ever been this confident with a signing before? I'll start with you, Miz.
Do you know what? Probably no. And you're absolutely right. Like, everything that this man is saying, I'm pretty sure Younes probably agree with it as well. You've already said it, Matisse, that it just feels like he's so much mature. The focus, the maturity in his talk. And you can just see it in the eyes when he's talking that he pretty much just wants to say in some of the press conference that, can I leave now because I want to do the business out there? Like, you just get this feeling that this guy just wants to do the talking in the field as opposed to just talking in front of the press, which has been brilliant. But yeah, I feel you, man. I completely feel you. And I've been saying it. There's always the right time for everything. Do you know what I mean? In life, not just in football, but, sometimes when we complain, like, why didn't this happen to me now? Or why couldn't this happen to me? X, Y, Z. Wait for the right moment. And I feel like Lukaku is at the right moment back. A lot of people be laughing, as we talked about last week, that, look, Chelsea bought this guy again when they've let him go. That wasn't the right time. Now is the right time. So, man, it just feels electric, man. Honestly, it just feels electric. And I love the way how he's been saying that I want to be able to help my teammates. Not just about him. He's here to help his teammates. He wants to not just develop his game to the next level. He keeps saying that he's still got a lot more improvement as well. But he wants the others to be improved with him, which is, man, it's immense, man. I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, Younes, what do you make of just obviously everything that happened at the training ground? It was a little bit of a. I can't even believe people are just this abrasive. Maybe because we haven't been outside for a while, people are a little bit, they're still feeling their way around how to operate in the real world. I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense to me.
It's one of those things. Like I addressed this yesterday. Look, you can't get everyone to think the same way. It just is what it is, and you never know when a moment like that's going to come. And yesterday it came. And it is what it is. The best thing to do would be to shut it off and not pay attention. There's always fans like that are going to be idiots as far as I'm concerned. It's part and parcel of the game. It always has been for decades and decades and decades. The only thing that we have now is social media to amplify it all, which we didn't have in the past. In the past, it would be an isolated incident. If it wasn't for social media, what happened yesterday would have only been known by the fans that were there at the ground. Not the entire world, like we all saw yesterday, because it was all over the place. So it amplifies these sort of things. It is what it is, though. We saw Timo Werner come out on his Twitter and his Instagram late last night, and he said, "I appreciate all the support you've been sending me and the love. Thank you all so much." Cool, fantastic. That's what we want to see. And on Sunday, hopefully he scores and shuts that geezer up. It's as simple as that. But the best thing to do would be to not pay it much attention. Unfortunately, that fan was the one that was given a mic. He said, what he said, get Werner out of the club or whatever he said. He's just an idiot. But the best thing to do would be not to pay attention and Timo Werner to just get on with it. He knows that the majority, probably 99% of the fan base, are behind him, are supporting him, and appreciate what he has to offer. And I think now with Lukaku at the club, I honestly think that Lukaku is going to, excel. And I honestly think Timo Werner is going to excel because Lukaku is next to him. So this could work out really, really well. And for that fan, just, he's got his opinion. Good luck to him. But next time, do consider not saying that sort of thing in that sort of environment, because it doesn't help. It's just it's pointless.
I've seen your video as well, Younes, yesterday about this, obviously, and I like your approach. You're calm about it, you're sensible about it, but I've just got this burning flame inside me about this whole incident, and I'm going to talk about it on my channel as well, but I'm going to give a prelude here. I think the whole freedom of speech, right? Boys, the whole freedom of speech doesn't mean that you can just go in and say whatever you feel like in your mind in an open forum, that being when it gets to insulting someone, right? Yeah. That particular moment was a moment where everyone was celebrating the European champions, watching them. He could have said anything. He could have really said anything else that, great to see the lads or whatever. He chose to say Werner out. Like, I feel like that's where, and I'm not saying the club should be making a club statement and all of that. No, but you got to make an example. You got to go out there and make an example to this particular fan and say, you know what? I'm sorry, but we don't want fans like you. We really don't want fans like you. And it's not the fact that you can't say what you're saying. It's just you can't say what you're saying in that forum. That was not the right forum for you to say.
It wasn't the right place all the time. I agree. Yeah.
Exactly. So I can't. It's like this, Younes, right?
As some said, it's not the pub,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Imagine, you with your parents and you say something to your dad like "F off." Oh, you know what, son? Yeah, freedom of speech. You can say, well, it's your opinion. It's not your opinion. No. Damn straight, that's not your opinion.
Yeah.
You got to know what to say and when to say. And that wasn't the right place. And I hope that, I don't know whether this happened or not, but I hope that guy just doesn't get allowed to come in, because we need to that's how you make a difference in society. You got to eradicate these sort of situation. And I know this is a minority group, but you've got to eradicate it out so that other people or young kids who are watching that yesterday or was in the ground doesn't look up and go, maybe I can do that when I grow up. Yeah, you know what? I will do that. Yeah, I will do that. You gotta stand up and say that's wrong, man. That's just totally wrong. You just don't do that. You can critically analyze someone and do your thing, but just know your place, man. Honestly, know your place.
I think, there needs to be consequences, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like you can do whatever you want, but there always has to be consequences to your actions if you do something mad. And I just feel like, again, it's just counterproductive. It's really stupid. Obviously, you've got a player that is not, in the best of form right now. Cool, you can have your opinions on it, but at the end of the day, when you're at the ground, you need to be supporting them. You know what I mean? You can have your opinions on social medias. Just try not to directly, go into their actual mentions. This is a public sport. It's in the public eye. They're up for criticism. They're up for debate, of course, 100%, like you are in any job if you're in the public eye. But at the same time, you do need to just have those boundaries. It's very simple. And I question if it was actually a Chelsea fan at this point. And I'm not just saying that, he's not proper Chelsea. But because it was on general sale, we really don't know.
Anyone could have showed up, and he had a black hoodie on. He didn't even have anything Chelsea on.
Exactly.
We don't know.
Why would like a non-Chelsea fan rock up for
that very reason? That's what I'm saying.
Maybe for that very reason,
to do that. It just sounds like something that
how would he have known that he would have got the mic though? How would he have known he'd get the mic?
Just chancing his ass, isn't it? I don't know, but it's just a hypothetical. It could potentially not even be a Chelsea fan. It might just be a rival. Because it was on general sale. I think the tickets were free, weren't they?
It wasn't sold out. It wasn't sold out, and it was for free. And it was at a time where many people are working, so that's why it wasn't sold out. You could just rock up and get a ticket.
Yeah. So it's like it's there for anyone if they want to be stupid. Yeah. So it's one of those things. Someone said in the chat, "What Matisse needs to set an alarm clock." I'm not gonna lie to you. I had the jab. I had the second jab yesterday, so I am a bit tired. I had it yesterday morning. Then I did 2 shows and I filmed with AFTV. So I think it's catching up to me now. So yeah, if I pass out midstream, just ignore me. There's nothing to really be alarmed about.
Don't worry, I got emergency on speed though. It's all good.
Who knows how this Pfizer is going to affect me? Honestly, we just don't know if it's the good stuff that I got or some
the second one got me good, man. Matisse.
Bro, I felt it. When I woke up this morning, I was like, I'm really tired.
I was knocked out.
Yeah, so it's a bit nuts. But anyway, moving our attention to this Tchouameni news that Simon Phillips has tweeted. Apparently, Chelsea are in talks with his representatives. I think he has the same representatives as Jules Koundé. So, I mean, it's not really breaking. I mean, is it breaking news? I mean, I guess it kind of is because I didn't know there was really even focusing on a midfielder right now. I thought it was very much focusing on Jules Koundé, and I'm glad to hear that they are focusing on a midfielder. What's your instant reaction, Miz, to that? Are you happy if they go and pursue someone like Tchouameni? He's probably going to need a bit of time to adapt to the league, but we need a midfielder, isn't it? So,
yeah, man. I mean, Kante. I think we all need to agree we're going to see another season of in and out Kante situation where he's probably going to be injured here and there, slight niggles. Let's be honest, he's not going to play every single game either. So, he's getting older. So, from that perspective, there's that issue. We've let go of Billy Gilmore, which now leaves Kovacic and Jorginho. So that's, you need variation. Say, for instance, Kante is not available and you've only got Jorginho and Kovacic in a particular match and you want something different in midfield. Well, who's the difference maker? Do you know what I mean? Right now, we don't have that out-and-out midfielder, and the way Thomas Tuchel basically plays his midfield. Yeah, you can say, well, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a midfielder. Well, yeah, sure, he is, but he's not going to be able to fit in this system. That's the issue. It's not the way Thomas Tuchel's playing. He's going to have to play somewhere else, maybe up front. I don't know. So from that perspective, I think a midfielder is needed. It was always Jules Koundé and a midfielder as well after Lukaku, of course. So I'll be very surprised if we don't get a midfielder because I think that keeps us a bit undercooked for the season.
Do you know what, as well? I think this is very interesting timing because I saw last night that Tchouameni was being looked at by Manchester United and Liverpool. I don't know how concrete those sources are.
No,
but
Fabrizio said this morning that United haven't even made any contact. It's not true.
Oh, okay, right then. Because there was a lot of people flying around with that one last night. And I was thinking to myself, are we now panicking after we thought maybe this one was someone that nobody would go after? I mean, he's a very talented player. So we'd be silly to think that anyway. But yeah, now I'm thinking to myself, we have to go in for him. I don't really see an in-house solution that is on the level that we maybe need it to be. It'd be interesting to see if he's willing to come in here and play the fourth choice immediately when he comes in. I think he can easily, get into that team as well. In terms of onto the bench at the very least. We've got the number slots for him. The only issue with him is that you look at, Trevor. We've had this. I don't know if we've had this discussion on here before because it's kind of been a very big week for Trevor since we scored the goal. He can play in midfield, but if we don't sign the centre back, then he's fine there. We still obviously need to look for a future Fampadu. Loftus-Cheek as well is another situation. I mean, what do you think, Younes, about that midfield? Do you think bring him in and then kind of just clear everybody else, get out of the way kind of thing?
This is the thing. It's difficult because, if a Tchouameni came in, would he settle for that? Would he settle for fourth choice? And you'd think that, he would at first probably be happy to just, rotate, try and figure his way out. But the realistic situation that Chelsea are in right now is we've got Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, and it's only if something happens to them that we need a backup. If all of them stay fit for the whole season, we're good. We're sorted. We don't need anything else. But if something happens to them, like we've seen Kante pick up a little knock or a little problem, we've only got Jorginho, Kovacic. If something happens to one of them now, we're in trouble. So realistically, we just need someone that can fill in. We need someone that can be a good backup. And can Ampadu do that? Perhaps. Can Loftus-Cheek be molded into someone like that? That's up to Tuchel. I can't answer yes or no for that. Chalobah, he's originally a DM, originally a central midfielder who eventually became a defender and just done flipping amazing in defense. And we've seen him against Palace, 2 man of the match performances in 2 games. So it depends. It depends on our situation in-house, Thomas Tuchel, and what he feels he can do with the players that we already have. If he feels like we need to make an addition, cool, so be it. And probably Tchouameni is the one that's going to be, that financially makes sense, position-wise makes sense. But it's up to him and whether he knows his role. Because I don't think he's going to come in and just, starter and knock Kovacic or Kante or Jorginho onto the bench for the remainder of the season. I don't think that's going to be the case. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one to balance out, but only Tuchel and the club really know exactly what we need, I feel.
Someone said, hey, man, you need to look up that kid's name again. It's Tchouameni. Listen, I can't pronounce anybody's name.
You were calling him Tamagotchi at one point.
Bro, I was calling him Tamagotchi a few months ago. This is a massive step up for me. You should be giving me praise. I was calling him Tamagotchi, and I was told that was wrong. And I was like, right, Julian Laurens, I'll clean up my act. I've come a long way. You should be praising me right now or not. So it's Tchouameni.
Tchouameni. Yeah.
But the thing
it's a comment there by Sal. I think that's the perfect way to.
Okay, well,
Tchouameni.
That's going to be an interesting step for my brain because there's a T in there.
Actually, that's right. It is.
I want to pronounce that T.
with francophone countries, that T is pretty much silent. It becomes like a sh. Not
all right. Well, if we sign him, I promise I'll pronounce his name properly. This is how I kind of operate. Like same with Spoon's Bell and the fork and whatnot. Like he was not in our first team, so I didn't really have to try too much. When they get into the first team, it's like an official. It's like when the players have to sing when they're introduced. I have to practice your name in front of the mirror. So Tchouameni. But it's really disappointing that the T is not pronounced. I like the T. Okay. Football Skills says Timo needs to improve the basics of football. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got to improve a few very key areas in his game: the finishing, the touch, things like that. I think he's used to running into space. We said this when he was at Leipzig. He was used to running into space, taking advantage of high lines, which is what that league specializes in. If you're going to play for a team that come up against low blocks, and of course, technically, you're going to have to improve some aspects of your game. But I'm not really worried about Timo right now, and I'll tell you why. Because we've signed Lukaku, and I think if Timo is not doing what he needs to do, then I don't think he'll play. Because now I think Chelsea have that outlet that they're looking for, and we have obviously other players. I
saw a very good point made by Jamie Carragher. I don't know if you guys saw it at that fan forum thing with Roy Keane and Gary Neville. And they said now with Lukaku at the club, Timo's no longer going to be that guy that everyone expects to bag 25 goals a season. You know, that's going to be Lukaku's job. Now with Timo, if he gets 10, 15, that's great as a supporting role to Lukaku, who is expected to get 25 or around there. Then Timo's mission accomplished. You know, it's not like last season where he was seen as the main man. If he misses, Chelsea are in trouble. Now it's more, can Timo just be that supporting role? Can Timo just link up very well? Can Timo just score one goal in a while? It's less pressure. That might actually help him.
Yeah. Miz, what do you make of it? Because would you put him in the starting 11 this week? Is kind of a good way to segue into that.
It personally, if I take all the sort of stats and analysis away, I'd be like, no, I wouldn't, because it makes sense to have a Lukaku with a Kai Havertz. But I've been reading up a lot of articles in Athletic and a few of the stuff from Tifo as well. They fancy a Lukaku Werner up front. They really fancy that because of the style that Werner has, and they're trying to sort of match that with the gameplay that Leipzig had with Poulsen and Timo Werner. So if you think about it in that manner, you've got the focal point of Lukaku, as Younes also said, that Timo does not need to feel that pressure anymore. That he needs to go in there and just bang in goals, and the goals are expected from him. The focal point is Lukaku. And then you've got the Robin to the Batman. So, it could work out for Timo, and someone like Lukaku could hold the play up and lay the ball off nicely inside the box, and Timo can come in and smash that in, and vice versa. Sometimes Timo could do that and Lukaku. So it's difficult. I wouldn't see him. I can't see how Timo starts because his first two games haven't been that great, but Thomas Tuchel's the master tactician, so he knows the best, and whatever he puts out, I'll be very, very happy with it. But personally, if it was to me, I'd go with the Lukaku, Havertz, and Mount, because in my mind, I'm thinking that should work with Havertz sort of roaming behind Lukaku, and Lukaku being the focal point, and then Mount being the workhorse. It kind of feels like that complements each other, but hey, what do I know, man? I'll leave it to Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different variations that could work here. I just definitely feel like if Werner isn't, I still feel like Werner does need to score goals. Like, he doesn't need to maybe have the same level of output that we expected of him when we first signed him, now that we have Lukaku. But just because we signed Lukaku doesn't mean Werner can just not score goals now. Like, he does need to put up he does need to put up a healthy tally. I think when you look at previous winners in the Premier League, they usually have, 2 or 3 good goal scorers that are doing well for their side. And, you look at the last few league, wins, they're all getting 90 points plus. It's really difficult to win this league. Like, you've got to win a lot of games to win this league now. It's the kind of points tallies that we were putting up only a few times, I think, with Jose Mourinho. We put up maybe a 90 plus.
We put up a 95, and that was a record. That became a record. That goes to show you.
Yeah. So, but it's going to take something maybe like that to win this division. Very few slip ups, and for that, then we need goals. So I think, as much as the pressure is off Timo slightly, I also still feel like there is definitely pressure on him, because if he doesn't score goals and someone else does show they can do that, then he's out the team. But by default, Reggie Thoughts says Tuchel has rotated players for load management. Kante, tactical reasons. Alonso, plenty of times. I think he will get the game time. I agree. I think as much as I do want to see the only part of the pitch I don't like to see too much rotation is the defense. I feel like that's where the chemistry, the understanding, the cohesion is very important. Like if you start tampering with your defense and you start messing up existing chemistry, then it's very unlikely you're going to have a good season defensively. I think most defenses that win titles, they tend to stick to the same formula. You look at Diaz and Stones. You look at our back three: Luiz, Cahill, Azpilicueta, and you can keep going and going. Van Dijk and Gomez, you can keep going, and it's the same rule applies every time. And that's why I've not really been a fan of let's bring in Koundé and keep Trevor and keep Zuma, and we can have 7 centre backs and we can just rotate. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just not going to happen. You don't aim to rotate your defenders. That's the only part of the pitch you don't actually look to do that.
Do you know what, Matisse? It's such a good point that I think our fan base have got into this whole ideology of this rotation, like as if it's going to happen on a match-to-match basis. And in fact, maybe even half to, first half, second half, maybe 2 different teams, the rotation. We
pre-season throughout the whole season.
Every time I tweet out, like the other day I tweeted out saying, okay, here's some set of questions that I want everyone to answer. And I said that, do you want to keep Chalobah? Do you want to also have Koundé? Where do you see Azpilicueta play? Where do you see Reece James play? Where do you see Callum Hudson-Odoi play? Who's going to be your starting right wing back? Who's going to be your starting right CB? And it was funny. There were certain answers, I kid you not, boys. They would say yes to Chalobah and yes to Koundé. And then when I said, who's your starting right back? Koundé. Then I'm like, well, why'd you say yes to Chalobah? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're starting,
play them all.
Like if your starting centre back is Koundé, and your starting right wing back, as most people said, was Reece James, and your backup is Azpilicueta, then why did you say yes to Chalobah in the first place? Oh no, but you need depth. You need depth. Well, sure, you need depth, but these players need minutes as well. Like they're not just going to be sitting there hoping for an opportunity. So you do need to be very mindful. You're right, Matisse. Like, let's get a Koundé. I mean, I'm okay if we get a Koundé. That's fine. I get that because obviously with Silva and maybe Azpilicueta next season leaving, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we've got to be mindful. You do need to give them minutes, and giving them 30% or 40% minutes throughout the season. Let's say you have 65 games and you give them 30 games. I don't think they're going to be happy with that. So we do need to understand that.
Tuchel's job's a very difficult one in terms of keeping everyone happy. And so far he's done brilliant at that. But yeah, man, there's a lot of options. I mean, as I've said, right now we might need to go to FIFA and get them to change the rules. That way we can go up to 15 man in the starting lineup, because that's the only solution at this rate. It's difficult. It's difficult. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Thomas does it. I think if there's one manager that we can trust in world football that kind of knows how to keep everyone on the same page, we're lucky enough to know it's Thomas Tuchel. So that's good. We'll wait and see what he does.
Yeah, I'm looking at the way he's been able to handle and manage this big squad. I'm very, very impressed. Very impressed, because it's not easy. It's really not. You're talking about, we've spoken about on this show before, a lot of egos, a lot of people in that dressing room that have literally grafted their ass to make it to top level football. They all believe that they should be playing. Obviously, from a fan perspective, we look at them and like, well, you shouldn't really be playing for this reason. You should, you're clearly a backup guy or that. But when you've played, the game since age 8, and you've probably been the best in your age group, the best in your class, whatever it is, every single year, and you've made this upward trajectory all the way to the top or pinnacle of European football at a club like this, your confidence at that point is so sky high. You're going to believe you should be playing. Like, nobody ain't going to tell Mateo Kovacic, oh yeah, well, you're clearly not playing to Jorginho and Kante. That's an easy decision to make. Look how great they're playing. Bro, bitch, I've won Champions Leagues. Hell, who are you talking to? You know what I mean? Like, and that's the even Alonso. Alonso will be like, again, I won the title with Conte. I have a Premier League title. Gerrard don't have that. Who are you talking to? Do you know what I mean? Like, I bet that is like
they all have a case.
Yeah, but to be at a club like Chelsea, that's the mentality you've got to have. You've got to think that you're the shit. Like, you've got to think you are the shit at all times. So it must be difficult to organize and keep a hold of these guys.
And it doesn't get easier either. I mean, look at Lukaku now. That's another forward player added on. You know, we already had enough, but we needed the striker, and boom, now we've got Lukaku. So with Lukaku, how do you play? We just discussed this. You know, do you play Havertz and Mount? Do you play Werner next to him? Do you bring in someone else? Where's Pulisic? Where's Hudson-Odoi? There's so many options. Ziyech, when he comes back, is he like forgotten? Like no one knows what's going to happen. And with Lukaku, for example, we just mentioned, just a little detour. We mentioned how, you know, Havertz might complement him very well, Mason Mount as well. But when we look at Werner, there is one advantage. Like a Werner, Thomas Tuchel's always said, plays very well in his best as you could say as a left forward, right? And he's right-footed. Lukaku, as we've seen at Inter, can probably play at his best as a right forward on his left foot because he's left-footed. You know, that goes very well together in terms of both of them linking up with each other. So that's another dilemma for Thomas Tuchel now. So what happens to Havertz and Mount? One of them's got to be on the bench. It's crazy. The defense, you know, Chalobah. No one expected Chalobah to enter the conversation. Boom. There's another defender that we got to talk about now. And Koundé still being linked. So many things, so many different combinations. And we've sold players and let players go. And we're still having a dilemma in terms of selection. So, you know, Thomas Tuchel, good luck, mate. Simple, basically.
Oh, it's nuts, bro. But it's good. It's good, but
it's a good problem to have.
Such a headache for him. But we definitely needed that striker. I think Lukaku is one of those guys that won't be rotated too much in this team unless he needs a rest. Because I just don't see anybody else displacing him in terms of what he's bringing to this team, not only in goals but also in leadership and maturity and understanding. There's just nobody else in that attack apart from maybe Ziyech, but Ziyech is more of a free spirit when he plays. It's a different type of player completely. There's no one else that's bringing that type of profile to the front line. And it's something that front line desperately needs. I was trying to order a Frappuccino on my phone to wake me up, and my card declined. This morning is just going my south, bro.
Your card declined.
I think I've got the wrong card.
I was about to say, how much have you got? Like £2.50?
Not that deep.
£2.50.
The super chat's just flying.
Bro,
you can't even afford a Frappuccino.
Go fund me, bro. Start it up.
No, go fund me for Matisse's Frappuccino.
I just checked the card. It's the wrong card that's connected. It's my. You know that card that you have that you
can't be using an Oyster for that. Come on, bro. Even I know that.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Man's trying to pay his Frappuccino.
Trying to use that Sainsbury's gift card voucher on Starbucks.
But I used to hate the Oyster card, man. That's such a rip-off, man. It was so expensive in London to roam around, man. Like literally, what is it? After £10, it's free, right? After £10, everything is free, correct?
Is it? I don't even know. I thought they just kept charging your ass.
Yeah, I think after £10 you spend on your Oyster on the day.
For the day. Yeah, there is a limit. Yeah, I think it's £4 on the bus. Is £10 in total.
£10 in total. Yeah, £10. Like that's nearly $30
basically
for the
a
day
travel card.
Like honestly, that's insane.
Yeah, they really do. They make sure that wherever we step outside here, we want to breathe. That's £10. You want to take another breakfast? That's another £10. Maybe we'll do it 50%. You going through the congestion zone? You going through central London? Make that £20. Yeah,
honestly, and now it's a case not just congestion. Oh, we're expanding the ultra low emission zone, so you got to pay us another £15 if you want to walk through central London.
Oh man,
absolute robbers.
And now they ask me, do I want to tip the Uber driver? I wish I could.
How about tip me for just jumping on?
Matisse going to be with the Uber driver going, hey, listen, boss, I've got a Tesco club card. Do you want me to pay you with that instead?
That's why, you know what? I used to walk a lot. Last time I went to London. I walked.
And it's not even my bike, it's the government's bike. You know, one of them, it's not a Boris bike, it's one of those other bikes, an Uber bike or something. I got one of those. Bikes. And usually you have to charge it, but the charge is broken, so I just use it now and just ride everywhere. It's great.
Fantastic.
And then I'll ride to the shops, I'll leave it, and I'm like, I hope nobody steals the bike. And I go back out there, and Mike stood. I'm like, yes, free travel for another day.
And you know what, boys? I've noticed, because last time I was there was 2015, end of 2015, early 2016. Even like traveling by car, that's not that easy, especially around the city area, because your streets are so narrow. Like you literally have 2 cars like in the one road. Here, you've got like 7 cars in the one road.
Oh, you got like 7 lanes.
They're.
How does everybody cross the street?
I'm exaggerating. 4 lanes. 4 lanes generally.
They fly.
I can imagine my ballsy self. I'm thinking of crossing the road, but there's 7 lanes.
It's going to take me half an hour to cross.
That's why you got to have your skates on. Do you know what I mean? You got to have the skates. Nah, but look, generally it's about 3 to 4. But yeah, your streets are so narrow, man. And then
it's a joke. Yeah.
Nah, man.
And they can't change it. They can't change it because all the roads were built in Victorian times, and they didn't think of that back then. So now they'd have to change London as a whole, which is just not going to happen.
Can you imagine? They thought that there was only going to be like 10 people living in London. That's why they built the road that way.
They totally miscalculated it.
This is London. Only 10 people will live here.
They were accommodating for horses only at the time, not cars.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Insane.
Not ahead of the curve. I'm not gonna lie. We're meant to have flying cars right now, so we're really behind. But anyway, Alex says with the super chat, Matt, it's pronounced. You guys are just gonna keep on telling me this, isn't it? He ain't even signed, man. He ain't even signed, bro. We can call him Tamagotchi. I might go back to that just to show how much progress I've made. If I start calling him Tamagotchi, you might start to really appreciate how far I've come. It's been a big moment for me in my life. There is no T. Remembering Younes with the Ziyech lessons for Lampard. Big up you. Did you have issues there, Younes, with the lessons for Ziyech?
I got on my nerves, Lamps. Lamps got on my nerves. Every time he gets into a press conference, oh yeah, Mr. Ziyech. I'm like,
Ziyech.
He's destroyed him. He's destroyed his name.
Ziyech.
Appreciate the super chat, guys. Thank you so much. I can afford the Frappuccino, though, if that's why you're sending him in. It's not necessary. Only just. I Test Merchant says, look at Man City quality players, 2 in every position. 100%. But what you will notice
4 now in every position.
Yeah, I mean, Bernardo Silva,
like 3, 4.
He's looking to leave. Sané ended up leaving as well. So they don't tend to. But if you do look at Man City, they have the depth. But then after the second team, they've got youngsters. Like we've got a second and then a third team of like Drinkwater, Bakayoko. You know, like we have a third team. That third team doesn't need to exist. 2 teams, and then after that, you're good. But remember, inside those 2 teams, you can have very accomplished youngsters like Trevor, who's played over 100 pro games and played in the top 5 league last year. I think a lot of people forget how old he is. He's 22 years old, so he's the same age group as Mason Mount. So when you think about maybe is Trevor ready? If he's playing well, he probably is ready because he's old now. You know what I mean? He's not a spring chicken. Reggae Fort says the most competitive teams have top class players with 1,000 minutes per season. City, Bayern, etc. Of course, they aren't going to rotate every game. True. There is a lot of rotation in that City squad. Pep does like to rotate a lot.
Wide.
Come on. So close.
Bro, I don't think I'm ever going to get over that comment that he made. Mum was like, I don't even have the energy to even do it. I'm not doing it today. I don't have the energy for it. Honest to God. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible the way the man was moving. I don't even have the energy to do it. I'm not going to do it. But it was nuts the way he was moving. It's quite incredible that he sat there on a chair and did all of that just to not actually abide by the actual rules that he came up with to deal with a Chelsea team, and literally just go with no holding midfielder. But anyways, we digress. Jam says, "Here is your Frappuccino, mate, bro. Where is it, bro? Don't play with
Jam.
me.
Yes,
Where's
Jam,
the Frappuccino, bro? Thank you so much."
Happy birthday to Jam for yesterday as well, by the way.
Happy birthday, Jam.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday to Jam. Happy belated birthday. It was my girlfriend's birthday as well. It was someone else. Everybody's birthday is on the 18th of August. For real. Like, I have like 6 or 7 friends. Their birthdays on the same day. It's handy as well. That's why I booked my test that day as well, just so I wouldn't forget. I was like, I'll get the shot that day, so I wouldn't forget. It's much easier to keep it locked in.
Good luck attending all of their birthdays at the same day.
It's not possible.
Happening. It's not happening.
We cannot do it. We cannot replace them. You know, we cannot do it. It's not possible. Again, another bone-faced lie from Pep as he prepares to spend 130 million on Kane. The man deserves an Oscar. It's quite incredible.
He is a good actor. Yeah.
He is. Jamal says, best Chelsea show on YouTube. What are your thoughts if we don't get a sit-in DM? If J5 gets injured, how will it affect us? Younes, love your content. Great to see you on LG on Saturday. What's LG?
Trying to remember.
Are you going on the overlap?
Oh no, I'm going on Lee Gunner. I'm going on Lee Gunners on Saturday. Yeah. To preview the game.
He's been doing a madness recently. Nice. He's been fighting with his own fan base.
He's been firing nukes, not just gunshots. He's been firing nukes,
proper nukes. Like, it is getting violent. It is getting very violent in that fan base, and I am here for it. Just don't cancel our game. Really, don't cancel our game. Like,
That's
want
what
to
I
play
told
this
Lee.
match.
That's what I told him. I was like, look, your protests and all that, keep it on a low, please. We don't want this game cancelled. We actually want to play it.
Yeah,
he was like, no, don't worry. There'll be like 100 people that show up. You don't need to worry. I was like, all right, cool.
and I also hope like the game's not delayed or anything like that, because
I hope
the game's at 1:30 a.m. for people like in Australia. So please be mindful about that kind of stuff. Do want to watch the game and then go to bed. So please don't delay it.
This Starbucks is closed. I can't catch a break. Anyway, sitting DM. I mean, what are your thoughts, Miz? I'll start with you. If we don't get a sitting DM, are you worried? I mean, for me personally, I have us as title contenders without one. But I must say, Younes's point about the lack of depth does definitely worry me. I've always felt this was the second priority once we get the striker. So if we don't get a sit in DM, how are you shaping us up for the season? Are you confident? Or are you thinking, we're a bit screwed here?
Look, I mean, touch wood, and I don't want to jinx it. Yeah, we've not really seen Jorginho being injured, right? So hopefully he's a fit character that can stay fit. And the odd game here and there that he doesn't get to, or he needs the rest or whatever, or he picks up a small injury, whatnot. You're hoping that someone like Kovacic can do the trick alongside Kante. We've seen Kovacic and Kante; them two perform well. As long as we have one or the other all the time, so Jorginho and Kovacic, and I'm not saying Kovacic is someone who's a perfect replacement for Jorginho in terms of that sitting DM, that sort of register role. But he's as close as it can come, I suppose. You want someone like Kovacic to be able to drive from deep and move the ball forward and not just be penciled down in where Jorginho's sort of more sort of the deepest midfielder. But if we don't get a DM, I don't think it's the end of the world, no. But yes, it is. It'll be good if we can get someone in, but if we can't, then we still have Kovacic who can do a job. And the last resort is someone like Kante can also. It's not preferred to be the deepest midfielder for Kante. It is definitely not preferred, but that is also an option. So, yeah, hopefully Jorginho doesn't get injured and stays fit throughout.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like if we don't get someone, we will be selling ourselves short because we don't know. Again, Loftus-Cheek is not the mold of player that we're looking for in that position. He's just not. Yes, he's got some sort of box-to-box ability about him, and obviously he's got the height and the strength. But defensively, awareness-wise, he'd be probably no better than Mateo Kova, who I don't believe is a sitter either. I think he's best when he's released and he's allowed to roam and go box-to-box as well. I mean, Younes, what do you think in terms of our chances if we don't get this? Do you think it's do or die in this one, or is it just a luxury?
It depends. It's the same point as Miz has made. If none of them gets injured, we're good. We're good. Because only two of them will play out of the three, so one will be resting anyway. It's a problem if two of them get injured at the same time, which is what did happen for a brief time last season. And we had Billy Gilmore, thankfully. So, It's difficult. It's difficult. If nothing happens to them, we're okay. We don't need to worry. If something happens to 2 out of the 3, we're in a bit of a pickle. And hopefully it's not for a long time. Hopefully it's just temporary. But that's where you got to look at an Ampadu, perhaps. That's where you maybe even have to play Chalobah there for a temporary basis because that's his original position. It's tough. But again, Tuchel will handle it. I'd prefer to get someone in and then let Tuchel manage the squad. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I've got a feeling with this whole Tchouameni, the whole Tchouameni stuff now that's popping around, there might be a chance that we might go in for him and get something done, possibly near toward deadline day. We'll see, though. We'll see. I'd like to bring someone in.
Do we have to kind of temper our expectations with Tchouameni with that? He's going to have to adapt, and he's young as well. Like, he's very young. So as much as we probably all want him to come in and blitz it, he might... I always admire the way Klopp uses his new signings in terms of, look at Konate as well. He hasn't thrown him straight in. He's kind of just like eased him in, looked after him. And I'm hoping we would do similar with Tchouameni if he was to come in. Just temper our expectations. Obviously, long term, he's obviously the guy, but temper our expectations for now. Get him used to what's going on, and don't throw him under the bus immediately, which we don't really need to. We've got options, just a lack of depth, isn't it?
But here's the thing, like, we could get someone like Tchouameni in, and yes, he'd need the time to adapt. He would, like anyone else does. But we also need to remember that at the end of the season, Billy Gilmour comes back.
Yeah.
So where does he fit? If we do sign someone, where does he fit? Because then we'll have 5 midfielders. You know, maybe the best solution would be to look inwards. And for one season, have a backup in an Ampadu or a Chalobah or someone that can just play there just for this season, hope that the other 3 don't get injured. And then next season, bring in Billy Gilmour to fill in that gap. That might have to be done. But because if not, we'll have 5 midfielders, and I don't know what's going to happen there. Will one get sold? Will like a Jorginho leave? I don't think he would now. It's difficult. It's really tough. It's got to be managed really well.
This is what I was saying, Younes, not that long ago, when the whole fan base, well, not the whole fan base, certain parts of the fan base were really screaming for Declan Rice. And they still are screaming for Declan Rice. And I said this, that fine, you get yourself a Declan Rice. I've got no issues with that. Even though it's not my first choice, I feel like there are other options out there, but you get yourself a Declan Rice. Don't forget the future of Billy Gilmour, because a lot of people, they think that Kovacic and Jorginho, like they're going to be leaving soon. They may not be. There's no reason for them to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They still got time in their contract. Now, I wouldn't be surprised at all, because there was talks about Jorginho signing a contract extension, which I think will happen very soon. And don't be surprised if Kovacic gets some sort of a contract extension as well. So from there, they're not obligated to leave. And they probably wouldn't want to leave a club that's winning. Yeah. So you get someone
also winning. They're playing well.
They're playing well. I think we
make a lot of assumptions that they're just going to just get out of here as soon as we're looking for that to happen. It's not necessarily the case.
So you get yourself a Declan Rice, then you really need to start, answering the questions about, well, what happens to Billy Gilmour? So we've got to be careful. Yeah, I know we want Tchouameni. That's fine. Okay, if you get a Tchouameni, then you better have a solution for Gilmour next season, because you're not getting Tchouameni for a loan. You're doing it for a permanent basis. And if there's still Kante, as Younes said, if there's still Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho, and Tchouameni next season, and then you bring in Billy Gilmour, I'm telling you right now, if Billy has a stellar or a stunning, season under Norwich, he's not going to be happy coming in as the 5th choice midfielder at Chelsea. He won't be happy.
That's the thing. At least if Billy Gilmour was an average midfielder, then we could consider selling him. He's not an average midfielder, man. We know that he is going to be one that's special for the future. I stick by that. I think he'll be a top midfielder. When he hits his prime, I think it's going to be crazy for him. So we got to bear that in mind. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah. I'm proud to announce the Frappuccino is on its way. So thank you so much, Emmanuel. Appreciate your donations. I am literally dying here. This is very important to me. My left arm is just ready to fall off. Have you guys had both your jabs? What's the situation with you?
Because I'm double jabbed.
And it was incredible. Like, this thing here is just not part of my body anymore. It feels like it's someone else's arm.
Yeah, it does get numb. But I had like fever and stuff. The second one, and yeah, like sore throat, fever, this, that. Yeah. So hopefully it doesn't happen to you, bro. Hopefully you stay fit.
Apparently each person is different. Like some is completely fine, and some it can be crazy. So luck of the draw.
God bless this Frappuccino.
Younes, are you
No, I haven't had any.
Oh, what?
He's going in gladiator mode.
Are you one of those? I don't want it. Like I don't believe in it.
I'm very hesitant. Very hesitant.
Oh, what? This is interesting. Maybe for another day. But
Do you know what? Yeah, we should actually launch a podcast. I think us three would have incredible discussions. The amount of times we just deviate off football, I'm just like, damn, we have to go and talk about football.
do you know what? Honestly, Matisse, sometimes I'm like, oh man, we have to talk about football. Like this was much better, just talking about random stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Younes, that's interesting. I want to talk to you about that.
No, absolutely. I mean, even for me, I've had a couple of people. One of my best friends that had her mum who went very, very wrong. Very wrong.
Is it?
Yeah. So I've honestly just been completely distant from it.
Man,
wow,
interesting.
I'm
just going with it because I want to go on holiday. That's very simple.
And that's most people. Honestly.
I have no idea what they put in me, but I want to go on holiday. I ain't seen the sun.
Do you know what? Similarly here in Australia, if we don't get to 80%, we're locked down forever. I don't want to be locked down forever. And you know what? Like I've had deaths in my family, like my wife's family through COVID, and my dad's side, my uncle's been on coma for 40 days. And so I'd rather be vaccinated and not have that in my family or anything like that. So yeah, I suppose it's the fear factor that works on me at the moment.
Someone in the chat said I keep twitching. I should stop freaking out on you right now.
The Frappuccino will solve it. No, I'm not sure the Frappuccino is going to make it. So,
Emmanuel for the Frappuccino, always excited for this show. Appreciate it, Emmanuel. Really appreciate it, bro. But yeah, man, this chat is so funny, honestly. Where was I even going? I don't even know what we was even talking about now.
We were talking about Billy Gilmore, I think.
Oh, yes. I mean, I am excited. Do you know what? I am excited to see a lot of our players, even if they're not out on loan and we have sold them with, some sort of control on how they come back or if they come back as well in the future. I'm just excited to see how they do in the Premier League. Gurhi, Livramento, Gilmore. It's a shame. Obviously, now we've not been in lockdown. The matches are a little bit more spread out. They're not spread out. Sorry, they're congested. So now 3 p.m. kickoffs. You can't really watch all the games like you used to. They used to be a bit more spread out for TV and whatnot. Now you've got the 3 p.m. kickoffs again. But I definitely will just be like watching those other teams to see how those guys do. I think me and Younes is talking about doing a Crystal Palace vlog.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
go and see Gurhi and Gallagher. Yeah,
sorted.
Literally. And someone in the chat is already saying they regret Livramento leaving already. I tried to tell you guys were going to fall in love when he left. Like, do you know what I mean? That's why I was so hell against Adama Traore. I was just like, it's just not worth it. It's going to take about, with this fan base, it's going to take about 5-6 games of him playing senior football, and you lot are going to fall in love. You're going to be like, I'm just like, bro, I've been there already. I'm done. I'm over it. Do you know what I mean? I already knew this brother was going to be a good player. Is what it is. He's literally benched Kyle Walker-Peters in his first game.
Yeah, like, that's immense. That's immense.
Yo, yeah. I'm here now. Sit on the bench, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? It's incredible off the bat. So there's nothing we can do. Just have to buy him back for triple the price later on. That's how we roll. And I'm fine with that. Do you know what I mean? Let him go learn his trade. There's no time for learning here. Do you know what I mean? Learn your trade over there and then come back later. But moving on to Arsenal, how are you guys feeling going into that game? I mean, I'm obviously optimistic and confident, but at the same time, I am very aware of our record in the last few games against them. So I'm trying to not talk too much smoke right now.
Let's call it what it is, yeah. And I put this on Twitter yesterday. I mean, no, not yesterday. Today, there's PTSD in the Chelsea fan base.
Yeah,
there are people that are traumatized from Arsenal games and the results against Arsenal, and that's playing in everyone's head. Logically, yeah, we're looking at this. Logically, we should steamroll them. We should. Now, based on previous performances, we thought that in the past, and it's come back to bite us. Cool. But honestly, man, I just don't. After watching that Brentford game, I don't see how Arsenal are going to pose any threat. But then again, you never know, innit? Charity FC. I hope that's. I hope.
But maybe that tag's gone now with Lukaku. You'd hope.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm hoping. With the way that Arsenal are now, man. I mean, will Ben White come good? Doesn't look like it, but you never know. Apparently, Aubameyang and Lacazette won't be playing against Chelsea, so who they're going to stick up top? But they're going to be playing Balogun again. I mean, realistically, with the confidence that we have in the squad, which we didn't have when we played them the last time, us as European champions just won the Super Cup.
Yeah,
beat Palace in good fashion, very good fashion. Realistically, we should go to the Emirates and pipe them.
Yeah. We played them in the friendly as well.
Played them in the friendly, done well. Yeah.
B team was out there for half the game. I mean, I'd be absolutely shocked and disappointed if we didn't go and win this game. Like, we need to stop looking at Arsenal as like, yeah, they're a rival, but they are a mid-table team. And if it was any other mid-table team, you'd say we need to go down there. We need to collect the 3 points, put in a proper professional performance and dip.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got your striker situation sorted now, there really is no excuse. Before I get Miz's take as well, there's no beef between me and Rory. I honestly, all I said was mad. I just said mad.
Literally. On the post of Rory's video, you put mad laughing emoji. I think he completely misinterpreted that.
Yeah,
I think you calling him mad when we know that we know that you.
I mean, that's not wrong.
The whole thing is mad.
I wouldn't be wrong if I said that, but I didn't say that. Let's make that very clear. If I said
maybe that's how he took it, Matisse.
If I said that, I would also be very correct.
Maybe he saw right through you.
I did not indeed say that, but if I did say it, I would mean that too.
I find that so strange for someone to block someone off the back of a comment.
But do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Yeah, about this, it's not even a beef. I'm a vegetarian right now. This is no beef. This is literally this is a celery stick. Celery. That's what this is.
This is a vegan sausage roll. Go on.
But I must say, it's like we're in the same space. I'm gonna see this brother at some point. There's no point doing this. Like we're gonna see each other at one point. What then? You can't block me in real life. So it's just long. It's long.
What are you gonna do? Just walk up to him and go mad to his face. Like, what are you gonna do?
And then he's like blocked.
Stay away from me, villain. Of your harsh words.
Strange man, Rory. Strange man.
Strange guy. I just think when it comes to this year, I just think to myself, like, just a tad sensitive. Like, obviously everybody got onto him because the Timo Werner situation not so long ago, Manon was saying, these pricky little Germans, these dickhead German players, why have they come in here and they've got Lampard sacked and, who do you think you are? You're just two guys from Bundesliga. And obviously sent like a whole heap of people into their comment sections on Instagram. And then someone in the ground goes, I don't want you at my club. Rory, I'm doing it for you. And he does a video saying, guy's awful, isn't he? It's like Trump when you send people to the
So well said. It's like Trump.
Trump when you send people to the, what was it called? I'm losing it here in terms of my brain process. This Pfizer is really starting to get into my body right now. But what is it called? What did he? The capital. That's it. He sent them to the capital. He sent them to the capital. Go and fight for our rights. This is Rory right now. Go and fight for our rights at the capital. Storm the capital. Storm. We must take back power and leadership. This is our time, people. This is our time. And he sends them to Timo Werner, and then they go over there, they storm the capital, they absolutely drag the and then
this is too funny.
Get out of our club! Get out! We're here to represent Rory. Get out! And then now it's like Rory's like,
how dare they?
yo, crackheads, get back here!
What a bunch of imbeciles!
I didn't tell you to do that. You're gonna get us all arrested. You're gonna get me indicted. What the hell is wrong with you? But you told us to go. No, I didn't. You did. You literally have it on CBS, YouTube. We have the video. You said that. That's what this is. It's ridiculous.
Can you imagine Rory coming on screen doing a Trump like, I do not condone.
When you really wanted it to happen, but now you're in trouble for it, and everybody's going, I did not ask for you guys to storm the Capitol.
I totally condemn this.
I totally condemn violence. I did not tell you to beat up the police force. Okay, I did tell you to storm. I did tell you to use brute force, but I did not tell you to storm the Capitol. Okay, I know I wanted to be president, but not like this. Not like this. Not like They're both blonde. I'm telling you, got to watch out for these blonde brothers, you know. I'm telling you, they're both blonde.
Boris vibes now as well.
Starting to make sense.
Rory's just insane. I can't believe he blocked you from mad.
I think it's safe to say now you're not getting unblocked, as Victor has said in the chat.
Well,
there's no way you're getting unblocked.
I've been blocked before. I mean, like I said, I was planning on just going up to Hampstead with a flute or a funnel or some sort of guitar and just singing outside his house.
A violin at this rate.
I'm sure I'll gain his trust back. I value this friendship a lot. This is something that's dear to my heart. I think there's something here that we can definitely repair this. It's not all hope is lost. The collab might be on hold. Apart from that, should be fine. So looking forward to mending these fences in the coming days. How I plan to do this, find out on my backup account, Burner. My frappuccino is not so far away. We will have normality soon, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, it's just a shame. It's a shame. But back to the Arsenal game. I just really hope there's no juju, man. I really do hope, because if there is, we're going to be in some serious. I'm going to be seriously pissed off if we don't come away with 3 points. I just don't rate that Arsenal team. And when you just don't respect or rate the team, it's very difficult then to continuously have to lose to them. And it humbles you to be like, right, well, we still don't rate you even after defeat, but we still haven't won. It's like, it's very conflicting emotions here.
I spoke with Louis. Louis put a thing up like saying, "Oh yeah, we can't bottle this. I'm worried that we're gonna lose, and people got to stop bantering Arsenal. Up until we win." And I was like, no. Here's the thing, yeah. What if we banter them, right? Smash them, and then banter them some more? Is that not better? And then he was like,
much better.
he was like, I'm not prepared to take that risk. This is full on PTSD, man. I hope. Look, as I said, logically, we should go over there and kill them 6-0. Yeah, logically. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we should respect them, but just be serious. Play as if it's a Champions League final. Go out there and just destroy them. And I think Thomas Tuchel's the right guy to put that mentality into the players' heads. I think Thomas Tuchel will take it properly. There'll be no complacency. I guarantee intensity will be high. That's why I'm confident. Man. We've done big things with Thomas Tuchel. That's why I'm confident that he will take them seriously. The team will take them seriously, and we will destroy them.
Yeah.
You sound like you're going to war. You sound like Lukaku.
Trump capital vibes, isn't it? Capital vibes.
We're storming to the Emirates.
We're storming the Emirates.
Destroy the Emirates.
Use brute force.
But don't use brute force. Use brute force, but don't. Destroy, but don't destroy. Beat them up, but not too bad. Don't go to prison, but maybe do.
And another thing with Arsenal is that apparently they might have Odegaard in time for the Chelsea game. They might even have Ramsdale in time for the Chelsea game. And to be honest, that don't scare me. I don't know about you guys. That doesn't scare me one bit.
I love how Younes, you were building it up, and I was thinking, oh, don't tell me Younes is going to say that scares me, because I was just going to say they mean nothing. Ramsdale, well, wasn't he a championship goalkeeper? Like, that's the thing. I mean, I so wish Turkish was here. I had some amazing question lines lined up for him.
I wish he was here as well. It's gonna be a sick episode.
At the end of the day, man.
I mean, Ramsdale, the last two teams he's been with got relegated. So maybe
I'm saying Arsenal going to get relegated, but not saying
Arsenal going down, isn't
it? maybe he's here to do something for Arsenal. Maybe that's what the whole tactic was for the Arsenal board. It's like this man relegates teams. We want to be relegated. Let's get him on board and let's get ourselves relegated. Look, honestly,
pardon me. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I just have to go. Anderson is outside. He seems to be lost. Just 1 second.
Well, like the Man United one.
Brilliant.
Man United Anderson. He's still assisting Younes. He's still going around assisting Anderson. Nah, man, I'm not like, honestly, Younes, if we look back, okay, under Frank Lampard, the FA Cup loss.
Yeah.
We started well, and then the freak show happened with Pulisic injury. Then they got on top, and then the freak show with the Kovacic red card, I believe, yellow, then the red.
Yeah.
So that was freaky. Then the second time around, we knew Frank was on the way down. So tactically, he got outdone on that particular match. Thomas Tuchel, we should have beaten Arsenal that day. I remember, I think Mason Mount hit the post or something like that, or Kai Havertz in the first 15 minutes. Could have gone around, could have done what he did in the Champions League final, where he could have taken the ball around Leno, but he didn't.
Yeah,
would have been 1-0 up. So, and then it was a freak. Yeah,
so, and that was a time where we were kind of still, we were nowhere near as confident as we are now. You know, we were hoping for top four. We weren't sure of the Champions League. It was still a process.
100. So, and then it was a freak goal from Jorginho. It wasn't as if they. Like materialize something from that. They didn't architect that. Like it was our fault that we got into that mess. So I'm hoping that this time around, as you said, Younes, we are the European champions. We've won the Super Cup as well. A couple of tough games, and then obviously Palace. We showed exactly how classy we can be, even without going that. I think in that Palace game, we could have gone to a few more different gears if we wanted to, but, we were just that good. So hopefully now the team, they know their objective for the season, which is to win the Premier League or be there in the challenge. These are the games you got to win, away from home, beating Arsenal. Next up is, I believe, Liverpool straight after this. So you do want to get into that Liverpool game with 2 victories. You really do, because I'm pretty sure Liverpool probably beat Burnley. They'll have 2 victories. We should be beating them.
Even for Arsenal, after us, they got City.
Yeah.
So they could end up with, after 3 games, 0 points.
That's what we're trying to see.
That's what we're trying to see. That's our responsibility.
That should be a motivation as well, to get one of our rivals, London-based rivals, absolutely dead. Like 3 games, 0 points. They should be dead last in the table. And they should be worried about relegation talks. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think Willian still believes that they can win the Champions League in Arteta's second season? What was it?
What?
Remember when not even in the Champions League.
Do you remember when Willian signed? He was like, firstly, we're going to try and get into the top 4, and then we're going to try and win, I don't know, the Champions League or something, was it?
Willian's smoking some good stuff, man.
They've all said that. David Luiz said, I'm going there to win the title. Willian said, I'm going there to win the Champions League.
Younes, I think it must be like a template or something they get given to just... It's like, use this template when you talk.
This will trick the fan base into showing ambition.
You know what? It's funny because they dead ass know that these things are not going to happen yet. They still say it. It's incredible PR. And yeah, Charles, I do remember this moment where we was after the FA Cup loss and we was hoping and praying this team weren't going to develop a losing mentality, because you only have to look at the Super Cup defeat as well. And that's 2 final defeats. And I thought to myself, we can't let this become a thing. And then we lose the FA Cup again. But hey, Now it's 2 out of the last 2. Do you know what I mean? So we've got over that hurdle, and I think this team have learned now how to get over that final hurdle in those big matches. So it's good to see. Because I remember banging on about that for a while, and it was starting to really worry me that this team are losing these finals. It was 3 final defeats in a row for this team after that Leicester game. So it was big for them to win that Champions League, and obviously then the Super Cup as well. That's why I took the Super Cup so seriously. We need to make it 3-3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Super Cup was serious. Definitely serious.
Circumstances for Sunday have changed as well, man, because remember, Arsenal fans are protesting before the game. That's one. Okay. So they'll go into that game hostile already. I think Arteta, after the Brentford game, is going to set up negative because Arsenal psychologically will be scared from the get-go. I think we'll see a very defensive Arsenal. Right, very, shut shop, sit back, please don't concede kind of Arsenal. If they concede 1, I think the fans will turn on them. It's our job to get that first goal. We get that first goal, I think we've got the game in the bag. On top of that, Lukaku's there. So flipping, fingers crossed, he does the business. The circumstances are different to last season. This should be in our favour, hopefully.
He's exactly the type of striker they don't want to come up against.
Exactly. Ben White must be crapping himself.
Drogba, Diego Costa, these are the kind of players they don't want to come up against, these bullies. And that's what we used to do. We used to bully Arsenal. And Arsenal used to try and play us off the park. And now we should be able to play them off the park and bully them. Yeah. That's the key here. We should be able to do both.
Yeah.
Used to be Arsenal play better football than us. They play us off the park potentially with the possession, but we snatch it with a couple goals because we're bullies and we got the winning mentality. And now, forget the record for a second. We should be able to play them off the park and we should be able to bully them. Set pieces.
Smell blood.
Blood. So we've got great midfielders to play them off the park, and we've got players that can bully as well. You've got Rudiger, you've got Lukaku. So that final, I just can't wait to see Lukaku play. I'm going to actually get the number and the name at the back of my new shirt as well today. I'm going to get it done today. I really should pass out, probably, is what a lot of people would advise. We're going to keep going. Big up. We're going to keep going. But yeah, I just can't wait any longer. I need to get the name at the back of the shirt. I'm so buzzing for him. I'm really, really so excited. I can only see this going well. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure now lightning will strike me down in December. Lukaku has not scored for 5 games straight. Matisse, what are your thoughts now on this situation? But I really just have so much confidence in him because he's got so much confidence in himself as well. And everything added up just points to success with that man. His track record speaks for itself. If you're scoring goals from 18 all the way up until now, it's like a postman delivering the post. You're hardly going to stop delivering now. In your prime, it would be kind of freaky. Did you see something in the chat there, Miz? What's going on in the chat here?
No, I haven't. Did I miss something?
No. I thought there was something that alerted my attention, but I don't think so. Let me just see. Okay, yeah. Willian was obviously a shocking deal. In terms of before we close, we know from a Chelsea perspective where we are. We know who's available right now until that press conference. Is there anybody in the Arsenal team that worries you guys, or in any way, shape, or form gives you any concerns? Maybe Aubameyang and Lacazette, the Chuckle brothers, will be back in terms of
I don't think they are.
Apparently
I think they've
not.
got that C virus. You know what I mean?
This is the
thing. They haven't said that. They've just said, they're sick. And if it was that, they would have said they've contracted. They probably would have contracted.
I watched Hugh Weezy's latest stream. By the way, shout out to Hugh Weezy, man.
Yeah,
I think he's one of the best content makers. I got to be honest, before we get into that topic, there's not many streamers that I would literally sit down and watch 2 hours of their stream direct. Hugh Weezy's one, I am captivated. I'm literally captivated for the 2 hours. He's such a phenomenal character, man. Shout out to him. If we ever, honestly, Matisse, if you can ever do a madness and get him, honestly, it was so funny, Younes, you laugh at this. His latest stream, right? He goes, do you know what? I woke up thinking, Arsenal do have a chance against Chelsea. They do. And here's why I think they do. And he pauses for a moment. And then he goes, now, what was I thinking? bloody deluded. They've got Lukaku coming in. You know what? Scrap that. Nah, we are going to get pumped. We are going to get ripped apart. We are dude, you look so serious, and you believed for a moment that Arsenal's got a chance, and then literally 30 seconds later, he absolutely flipped, and it just made me laugh so hard. But yeah, he was saying on his stream, Younes, that apparently, you know how we have our in the nose in our community, they've got their in the nose in their community.
Yeah.
And someone apparently did a whole video and whatnot and said that how else would you already declare the fact that a couple of players are sick for 2 weeks? It's because you need that, you know, time for isolation and all of that. And they full did analysis and whatnot. And I think recently was it Fabrizio Romano that tweeted out that there is no interest for Aubameyang with Barcelona and whatnot. Yeah. There's this. So apparently it is the disease that both of them have, because, you know, they hang out a lot and they both caught it and whatnot. And
they did the handshake together and all that kind of stuff. That's how they gave it to each other. They did the hand.
They went in like that, and boom, game over. So yeah, I mean, look, Lacazette is someone, obviously it's been well documented that you know, they're looking to get him out of the club, but now that they can't get Tammy, well,
do you know what? They've missed a trick not getting Tammy, because if they got Tammy for this game, can you imagine the motivation Tammy would have had to prove everybody
immense.
Too cool, like prove, bro. I think Tammy would have scored against us.
Nah, man, our defenders would have known Tammy left. Yeah, they would have known him completely. They would have
broken him.
Yeah.
Really would have said, all this time I could not tackle you in the training ground because you are my teammate. Now I am gonna half you. I will literally half you. I will show you what you really, really mean in this particular, you know, league. So, nah, man, he done good. He went to Roma, and kudos to him. But yeah, I think, like I said, look, there's no one. I don't think there's a single player that I'm worried about in Arsenal. Like, honestly, I can't. Maybe Xhaka a little bit, because he does become prime. He does become prime against. Yeah, he becomes prime against us. Like, he's the only one. I'm not completely worried.
I don't even care about Xhaka. We started calling him Boomerang in the Big Six. It's quite funny now.
Xhaka in a Swiss shirt, yeah, perhaps. Xhaka in an Arsenal shirt.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, I hope it's like that, because remember that free kick he scored against us last season?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I mean, the players, you know, it's bad at Arsenal, right? When right now their best players, or the players that their fan base would look at and go, yeah, you know what? That's the one we can rely on, is a Smith Rowe, who's literally just made it into the first team. He's been given all the responsibility of a number 10 shirt. Saka, who's a young Donny, who had the pressure of missing a penalty for England not too long ago. And, you know, we know how young and new he is to the scene. Yeah. And he beat Tierney, I want to say, who's actually decent at left back, and even at the Brentford game, actually had a good game. That's it. I can't look at anyone else and go, yeah, they scare me. Like, no. And realistically, with our team, we should be able to deal with a Saka. We should be able to deal with a Smith Rowe. As good as they are, we should be able to deal with them.
And even Pepe, like, we should be able to deal with Pepe as well. Yeah, like, seriously.
Yeah. The problem is, on paper, they got good players. Arsenal have a good team. On paper, you look at their players individually, they're not rubbish players. But as a system, as a team under Arteta, collectively in Arsenal shirts, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So I'm not scared. But there's always the possibility that they might just show up. You know, a miracle might happen and boom, they get a 1-0 win. I mean, it's happened. But realistically, it shouldn't happen. 99% of the time, we should be going to the Emirates and getting a result. In the circumstances Arsenal are in, and in the circumstances Chelsea are in, we should be winning 99 out of 100.
Yeah. And I hope our boys realize the fact that they've just lost against Brentford. And I think this is what Lukaku alluded to in his press conference yesterday. He said, you know, they just lost against Brentford. So, you know, we're not going to take them lightly. They will come hard. They will definitely come hard. So I hope the boys, they do know that you still need to put a shift. You have to put a shift. You can't just expect that we Chelsea Football Club with the European champions, which are going to rock up and they're going to just bend over backwards and then just allow us to do anything with them, violate them. No, we need to make sure that
you said come hard, violate, bend over backwards. And I'm trying to work out if you're doing it on purpose now.
So, we need to get out there and earn our violation. We need to earn that. We're gonna be, nothing's gonna be given to us for free. We need to make sure that we earn it. So yeah.
I was like listening to Miz, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll let the first one slide. And then the second part. There's no way. There's just no way. There's no way it's just me here. Because I was like, if I don't say it, the chat will. Oh my god! But yeah, man, everything Miz just said, we need to violate them 100%. We do at their own stadium as well. They general sale tickets for the Emirates as well. Like they're on general sale. So if you want to go to the Arsenal Chelsea game and you want to sit in the home end with your Chelsea top on, go for it because they're not sold out. Yeah, they're not sold out, bro. They're not sold out for this game.
How's that? That's insane. This is a blockbuster game.
Well, I mean, it's the
first game because of the protests
of the new season, and it's at home to Chelsea. You'd expect it to be sold out, but obviously they've got such a toxic fan base right now in terms of like not toxic fan base, but like the toxicity around their club and the fan base versus the owners or whatever, and the manager. Then they just don't want to. They just don't want to turn up.
Matisse, can I just introduce one topic before we wrap things up?
Yeah,
this is what I wanted to talk to Turkish about, but he's not around. But maybe we can still do that down the track.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask Turkish, and I want to see what you boys have to say about this. Do you think AFTV, with the reach that they have, they've got over 1 million subscribers or close to 2 million subscribers, something like that? I don't know, something ridiculous.
Yeah,
do you think our fan base, there's not one particular channel that has Chelsea-based channel that has millions and millions of subscribers, that has mega reach, that it becomes a huge influence? The fact that AFTV has such a reach, and the fact that you guys all would have seen AFTV, like they can get abusive towards players. They really can. There are certain members they can get, like, borderline. It's crossing the line to the fact that you're encouraging other fans to act in a very negative way towards players, where it becomes unhealthy. There is criticism, then there's abuse, and then there's like you're taking the piss now, honestly. Do you reckon the AFTV has created or part of that toxicity in that football club at the moment within the fan base? Because I feel like even for us Chelsea, when things were really bad, not just under Frank Lampard or under Sarri or anyone else or under Antonio Conte, we never got, like, the fan base, there was toxicity, but it was never like to the point where people won't go to the stadium, or it was like you never had like a mega reach. I feel like the Arsenal fan base, especially with AFTV, they've got such mega reach. They can create that toxicity, and I feel like they're a massive part of it. I really do.
The way I would say is, I don't think they create it. I think they shine a light on it. And what I mean by that is they amplify it. So now you can see it because it's right in front of you. If you had a Chelsea fan channel that was over 1 million subs and we were in a shocking reign of form, I mean, look, take the Timo Werner incident, for example. You'd see a lot more people like that come to the fore in front of camera if you had that reach, or you had those characters exist in every fan base. It's whether or not they get airtime or they get the mic to speak. The Chelsea fan base, make no mistake, the Chelsea fan base have got, people in it that will definitely be toxic. They've definitely got people in it who will slag off the players. They've definitely got people in it that will take it to that step that you're saying. But because they don't have a mic and they don't have anywhere to turn to release that energy after matches, then they just say it in the pub or they just go home. Yeah. But it will be like that with every fan base. So I just think they've shed the light. But what I will say is as well is that Arsenal are shit. So that's why that is why you're getting a toxic vibe. You're not gonna get happy vibes because they're 8th in the league. It's not gonna happen. If Chelsea were 8th in the league 2 seasons in a row and they had 1 million subscribers, I'm telling you now, you'd get a lot of crap coming out of the Chelsea fan base. And look at our fan base flipping the moment we go on a run of 5 games, let alone 5 years or 6 years. So that's the comparison we're making here. If Chelsea's fan base are very, very, very impatient. We don't have time for what Arsenal fans have gone through. There's no way.
Course not. Not 10 years.
We've just won a Super Cup and a Champions League. We can't relate whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at it like that, you know, if Arsenal were playing well and they were winning trophies, AFTV would be incredible. Everyone would be happy, and it would be one of the greatest things on earth. It would be like, oh, this is fantastic. Look at the way they're representing the club. We're getting to see all these happy fans. AFTV is a representation of where Arsenal Football Club are currently. So until Arsenal Football Club start playing well, then AFTV will remain, in some people's eyes, negative. But I just see it as a reflection of what is currently happening in that football club. And no one can say that the reason why Arsenal are shit is because of AFTV, because AFTV didn't sign the paperwork to sign Ramsdale. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal as a football club, they need to change their approach and their way of doing things. And that's why I find it silly when like people on Talk Sport will try and call them out. You literally do the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It's the same. Literally you're in the same genre of media. Instant match reaction after matches, and we all know instant match reaction after matches, you're going to get highly charged, emotional people who say crazy shit. And we've even seen it for Chelsea, you know, a few times, and we've seen it, you know, for Man United, etc. So that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes.
I mean, with AFTV and all that, and I know this firsthand. AFTV at the beginning was formed to give a voice to the fans, and I'll always, you know, definitely stick to that. I remember even talking with Robbie at the times of Wenger when that was all happening. You know, it was just to give a voice to the fans and get their opinion after a match or during a week or whatever, just to have a platform for them to speak their mind. Right, that was the original intention. Now, I fully agree with Matisse. Arsenal are in a mess because of the way that they function as a club. And AFTV is only going to represent what they see. Now, let's not be, you know, hypocritical. Even as content creators, everyone knows that drama gets views. And that, you know, any sort of big emotion that's shown that will generate views. And trust Robbie or anyone isn't oblivious to that. They know. They know. Now, if Arsenal were winning consistently like we are,
I think they would still get views.
Robbie would still be there, and he would still be getting those you know, those interviews done, or those Matt Fang,
and they would still get views,
and he would still get views. The thing is, there now seems to be a thing that people think, all right, if it's negative, you'll get more views. Me, yourselves, I think anyone in the Chelsea community will know. George, Jan themselves, they all know. When we win, we get more views than we do when we lose. And that's just the culture that I think we've had in the Chelsea fan base, which is great, and that's how we want it to be. Because when we win, we benefit, and when we lose, we don't. And that's
it's a very simple equation. For
AFTV though, Arsenal have been on such a decline that now it's just become banter. It's become banter for everyone else, not for Arsenal fans. It's not Arsenal fans that will tune in and give their opinions on comments and all of that. All the views will mostly come from other fans coming in just having a laugh.
Yeah,
and AFTV know that now as well. So it's a case of balance. AFTV will be there to say whatever. Any other fan will be there to say whatever. But the culprit is Arsenal and the club and the way that it's functioned.
Do you know what, Younes? You're so right about the views when we win. Because I checked the other day, literally the times where we lose, the views are the least.
Yeah.
And when we win, the views are the highest. So it's crazy how...
But that's
whereas
because...
in Arsenal, it's different though. Like when they lose, they get immense views, like a lot more than general when they win.
But that's because Chelsea fans want to see the content when we win, and when we lose, they want to forget about the match. They don't want to hear about it. If we were, say, because now I do the Big Six, I'm a little bit more prevalent, and obviously I'm on Rance's show as well. I've dipped my toes into the water of the rivals a little bit more. So when I did the streams after the Leicester defeat, I had like 300 people waiting. And I was like, what are you waiting for? We just lost. They're not Chelsea fans. There's loads of people in the comments laughing. Oh, I'm here from Man United. You said this, you said that. They're here to gather around and enjoy the festivities and see me depressed. And that is where it is. So that's that, but that's on a way smaller scale to AFTV. When you build up, and you're at a level now where you continuously lose. We know the characters and we know how it's going to go after a defeat. Of course, we're going to tune in if you lose because it's hilarious. Of course, because we don't, because we're rival fans. So when they lose, it's probably 90% rival fans. Do you know what I mean? But when as Chelsea, if we're in our community and we're not really stepping into the rival, the rival community is too much. We don't have loads of rivals following us. If we lose, no one really wants to see it because Chelsea fans, we want to forget about the game. We don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? We don't talk about it. We don't look back at it. We just want to move on. It just depends on your following. It just depends on if people have got used to seeing you angry or upset and found pleasure from it yet. And if they have, then you're screwed because they will be here waiting. Yeah.
And the thing is, here's a hypothetical situation. If Arsenal all of a sudden, problem solved, job fixed, Arsenal start winning games consistently, are you going to tune into AFTV? We won't.
I don't want to see them win. I'm not tuning in.
I don't want to see a DT or someone, or even a Troops is on his own channel, or a Lee Judges come on and go, yeah, today's such a great performance. Smith Rowe with a hat trick. I mean, fantastic. I love the boy. No, we don't want to see that. Arsenal fans would want to see that. Arsenal fans would happily click that and go, yeah, this is great. We wouldn't. Most of their views now, because Arsenal's been on such a decline for 15 years.
The thing is, look how shit they are. Look how shit Arsenal are. What do you expect?
Now. Exactly. I mean, it's got to a point now where even we're beginning to sympathise. We watch and we're beginning to think, wow, what's happened to this club?
Nah, man, I'm not sympathising with no one, bro. You can sympathise, but I'm not sympathising with them, bro. No way. I want them smashed 6-0 this weekend.
This is the thing. But
look how far they've fallen. They haven't been in Champions League for like 5 years. What do people expect them to be happy?
And now they're not even in Europe now at all. Exactly. Period. And the thing is, that's not they get it twisted. This is where I bring it back. Robbie or any other channel that is, discussing these sort of things, they know that now. And with AFTV, it's a business. It started off as a normal fan channel and whatever and giving the views, but for Robbie and for everyone involved, it's a business now. And they know that they need to keep the views up. It's as simple as that. And that's logical. I think that goes for any content creator. But
also they know they also know that when they set out, they said they were going to cover every single game.
Yeah.
Home, away, rain,
good or bad,
sun, good, bad. And they've stuck to that.
And that's what they're doing. Yeah,
so I'm a big fan of people. You can't judge someone based on your own interpretation of what they do. Only what they told you they're going to do. And Robbie, when he came on to this platform, he told you he was going to set up AFTV. He said he was going to give the fans a voice. And he said he was going to cover every game, home, away, rain or shine, good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's what he's done. He didn't tell you he was going to cover the wins. He didn't tell you he was only going to interview the fans that behaved themselves. He didn't tell you he was only going to talk about the good moments. And he didn't tell you he was going to take the day off when Arsenal lose and it might not paint the club in the prettiest picture. He didn't tell you that. If that's what you want, then set up your own fan channel. Again, nobody told you that. No, he didn't tell you he was going to do that. So if you don't like it, bro, YouTube is right there. There's the upload button. Go for it. Set it up. Get it cooking. Get cooking with it. You can't put expectations on people that they didn't give you that manual. They didn't give you that handbook. They didn't give you that script. They told you what they was going to do, and that's what they're doing. So if you don't like it now, there's only one place to turn to, and that's the performances of the club. And when you're losing to Brentford, I'm afraid it's not going to be the nicest match reaction. You should kind of expect that. I mean, unless you're just happy with Arsenal just falling down the table and you just want people to be happy and Larry about it, it's just not going to happen. They're literally 8th. If this was happening in Chelsea fan base, I'm pretty sure shit would have burnt down outside Stamford Bridge by now.
The standards are high. The
standards at Chelsea are so high. If we had gone through the same crap Arsenal had gone through for the last few years, I'm telling you, things would have started getting burned down a long time ago. So I think Arsenal fans are actually dealing with this quite well, to be honest. I think they are.
Thing. We tend to know how to keep that pressure on. You remember the whole Antonio Conte thing. You remember when Mourinho towards the end with Sarri, Lamps. we tend to keep the pressure on. If we see one sign of trouble, everyone's onto it. Everyone's onto it, and it's like it's the end of the world. And I think Chelsea know that, and Chelsea are functioned in a way where it's nice, and they learn from the mistakes and they sort things out. And look at us now. You know, we keep the standards high, and that's what it means to keep the standards high. I think Arsenal have just been on that decline, and fans have kind of voiced their opinion, but they've been accepting of it.
Yeah,
it's only now. It's only now and last season where we're starting to see protests. You know, like that should have happened 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And it didn't.
We had the Super League. Next day, protest. Everybody, cool, round up your shit. Come, gather. Get up, Mary. Get your posters. You up now, outside the bridge now. Like, we didn't waste no time. Super League, you want to do that? Cool, get up. Let's go. Come on, round up your shit. Like, there was no... Chelsea fans don't business. We don't play. If there's a simple mission statement that needs to be sorted out, it's getting done. It's getting sorted on site immediately. We're not wasting no time. And that's how Chelsea are. Ruthless.
I've said it last season as well when Frank Lampard was going through that bad patch that we're such a football club. You can have a loss, no problem. You can maybe even have two, back-to-back losses, perhaps. If you start having a three consecutive losses, you better pattern up very, very soon, because that fourth one better not be a loss. That better be a big, big victory. And from there on, you carry on winning. That's the blip you can have. You can't have, a loss and then a win and then two more losses and then a win and then another loss. It will never last in our football club. Like, and this will go for Tuchel as well. Like if Thomas Tuchel has the similar sort of December as Frank did last season, and I'm hoping he doesn't. 100% hope he doesn't. I'm telling you, it will not be accepted again. Because if we are 9th or 10th in December, even with Thomas Tuchel, it's not up to me. It's not up to me. It's not up to Younes. It's not up to Matisse. The big bad wolf upstairs, which is Abramovich, he'll pull the plug. He will literally.
But do you know what?
Say, I gave you Lukaku. I gave you everything you want, and you're still 10th.
But the thing is, you've still got Arsenal fans who are trying to defend Arteta. If this was the Chelsea fan base, he would have been run out by now. He would
have been gone last season.
We literally sacked our greatest ever player, arguably, the one that we have in this generation. A lot of us have the most emotional ties to this guy, Frank Lampard. John Terry, do you know what I mean? Controversial individual. A lot of people don't like him. He's up for debate. Ashley Cole, same thing. Didier Drogba, some people have him as their highest. But there's very few Chelsea players that will get near Frank Lampard in terms of legacy, in terms of greatness, in terms of emotional, attachment. And he was sacked.
Yeah.
And we, as a fan base, a good half of us minimum, because I know after that Leicester game I was done, said, you know what? Cool, we love you and whatnot, but it's cheerio. And if we can do that with him, the untouchable, as they say, Arteta would have been done. Who is Arteta to Arsenal? He played a couple seasons. He was more of an Everton legend than an Arsenal one, and they're still faffing around like, maybe he's good. I don't know. If this was Chelsea, it would have been done ages ago.
Look at our history. Yeah, we sacked our greatest ever manager twice. Not once, twice, just because it started to go wrong. And he probably had the most reason to say, I should be given time. I'm the greatest ever manager of this club. Conte won a trophy, out. Ancelotti, second in the league, had just won the league, had just won the double, sacked in the tunnel at Everton. We are ruthless, man. We are ruthless.
That was so unfair.
The Champions League. 10 games. We are ruthless. Sack Lampard.
How do you even sack someone in the tunnel? How do you even do that? Sack someone in the tunnel.
This is what we do.
Just text them.
Yo. You're not getting on the team bus. Get out that way.
Ruthless, bro. Ruthless.
That way. We've already ordered you an Uber. It's an extra as well, extra large one as well. Look, Mercedes-Benz outside. That way. Yeah, we've paid extra on that one. That's $7.99. There you go. Off you go.
Mate, Arteta would have been no problem. Arteta would have been a thing of, can you come into my office? Here's your envelope. See you later, mate.
But do you know what's so mad? Do you know what's so mad? Here's your P45 in a bit. Do you know what's so mad? There's no need to sack anyone in the tunnel. Like, just let them get on the team bus and deal with it in London. But we're that ruthless. You're not even getting on the team bus. Pack up your shit. You can't even pack up your shit. You're not even home. Just leave.
and you know what? That's after coming second. Like that's
double.
How dare you came second?
Brother didn't even get to pack up his shit.
Yeah.
There's no but there's actually no need for that. But I feel like we're just like toxic, innit? Just like, yeah, fuck it.
But it works. This is the thing. For us, it works. It works. And I think now with after all these years and the way that it's been done, now you can see since probably Sarri, we've started to build some sort of stability. We're starting to soften up, but we're still ruthless enough to know that we got to keep the standards high. We got Sarri left. We got rid of Lampard. Now we got Tuchel, and it looks like we might have actually found the click. Fingers crossed. We can't say for 100%. Fingers crossed, and this is how deep it is. We have to say fingers crossed. We have to say fingers crossed. At Arsenal, they wouldn't have said fingers crossed. If they'd won the Champions League with a Tuchel, for example, they'd be like, give this guy a lifetime contract.
He would have got Alan Pardew type contract at Newcastle, like 7 years or something.
Bro, is Alan Pardew still got that contract with Newcastle? Is it still running?
I think it might have.
It might have just expired. I think it just expired, but he had it.
Wow, he would have got the whole payout, right? Like the whole 7 years payout.
Oh yeah,
he did. Yeah, he did.
Bro, his agent did a madness.
Shout out to his agent. That's a mad one.
I might need to reach out to that agent. Hook me up with some 7-year contract.
Tuchel wins the Champions League. We're like, right, you can have a 2-year extension, all right? We're going to break our 30+ rule. We're going to give you an extra 1 year on top of the usual 1 year we give.
That tells you.
Brother can't even get a 4 year. Jesus Christ.
Standards are high. Standards are high.
Oh, right, people. We're going to wrap up. It's been a great show. We could probably talk about this certain dynamic for ages, but we'll definitely get Turkish with us to talk about it in the near future as well. But Miz, let them know where to find you. You've got a stream at 1. Let them know. Tune in, people. I want you all heading over there. Let them know, bro.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the other side of the coin. I've got a stream coming up literally in about 7 minutes. We're going to talk about a whole heap of things that's been happening in the Chelsea community. And we're going to be doing actually a tactical analysis. Ryan will be here. He's got some Lukaku special tactical analysis as to who he could possibly have the best combination with up front. So you do want to check that out. You do want to come along and check that out. You know how Ryan always blows your mind. So pop along.
Ms. Ball and Ryan Ball.
Ms. Ball. And look, the link is in the chat. Victor's there on site. Younes, let them know where to find you, bro. Any content coming up?
Yeah. So obviously we're keeping up with all the latest and the news and what's popping, but the preview for the Arsenal game is coming on Saturday. That's going to be interesting. At the same time, I'm going to be on Lee Gunner's channel previewing the game, so that's going to be fun.
That's mad.
Me and Tony, if I'm not mistaken, me and Tony will be on Lee Gunner. So it's going to be a nice civil conversation. We know Lee is very, very easy to understand and easy to talk to, and he understands the situation. He's not deluded. So it's going to be good. But yeah, just keeping up with all the latest. I'll try and do some other footballing, the general content as well as Chelsea content, and then a watch along for the Arsenal game and a review afterwards as well. We just keep going with the motions.
There you go. Well, listen, people, your one-stop shop. Make sure you check it out. Subscribe. We've got a big week ahead of us with these games. Arsenal and I believe Liverpool's afterwards as well. So don't be missing out on that. And smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe here as well. I think I've got another show later on as well, the Oil Boys. So yeah, we'll make sure to tune into that as well at 10. And apart from that, I'm gonna see if I can get a top up on my frap. Maybe I'll just get some water and see if that spikes it with some salt. I don't know. I might just get some water and just put some salt in it and see if that does the same job.
You want that?
Bro, this Pfizer thing is nuts. Anyway, in a bit, people.
So yeah,
I feel like I've just had a night out.